Okay everyone, I just want to give a little bit of an update on the Megasquirt powered Turbo Sunfire. I got the new engine in, new build, new turbo, ball bearing, new manifold, downpipe, all that. Right now I just got part of the interior back together, so it's sort of a disaster. Pieces and parts everywhere. Doing a little bit of a nifty project with the Megasquirt MS3Pro. I decided to put a two-step launch controller off of the emergency brake, convert the factory style emergency brake handle into a quick release style. And thanks to Robert Bailey from one of the Megasquirt forums, the Tuner Studio Facebook page, he helped me with some of the settings on it, which I'll go over in a little bit, but I was able to modify my gauge cluster using an output from the Megasquirt to let me know when my launch control is activated. I'll go over what I got going on right now. What I have is two micro switches I mounted to my emergency brake. One at the rear and one that's activated off of the button, so that when I pull up on the emergency brake, you can see that the rear micro switch is activated. The front one is not. You can see that when the emergency brake is up, it activates. When I have the button in, you can hear it. You can't see, but you can hear it's activating the other one. So the idea is, when I have the button pressed in and the emergency brake up, then my launch control will be activated along with my throttle over 50%. I believe I have it right now on the Megasquirt, which I can change that in the software. But the neat part of it is I have, which this is just temporary, but right now it's just a clevis pin. I have a little hole I drilled into the side of the emergency brake handle, so I can actually push in on the button. Which I'm going to change it to a shorter one, but so the idea is when I'm at the track, this button will be pushed in at all times, and it allows me to have my emergency brake as a quick release, so I can pull up on it, have my clutch engaged, and activate the two-step when I'm at the line, allow me to modulate the brake pressure and preload my suspension when I'm at the line to stage my car. Again, it'll be activated when both micro switches are engaged, the rear and the front. That's why I have two. And when I'm ready to launch from the line, I let off the emergency brake and I go, obviously letting go of the clutch at the same time. Again, so I can preload the suspension by pulling out on the clutch, just so I start engaging, preload the suspension, modulate the brake pressure to where it needs to be, and let go. And obviously when I'm not at the track, pull the pin out and it works just like a normal emergency brake, and the launch won't be active since the top button is not engaged. Let's see if I can do this and demonstrate live. One hand holding the camera. Let the idle settle in a little bit. It's got some pretty aggressive camshafts in there. They're solid lifters, so it takes a little bit for it to settle in. I'll show you the settings real quick in Megasquirt. So under programmable outputs, I'm using an unused injector output, which is injector output E, and those are the settings I'm using, so I can change my settings for that, but thanks to Robert Bailey again for helping me out on the Facebook page. But that allows me to activate the light in my gauge cluster, let me know when the launch is engaged. Right now, I just have an LED in an couple of unused places in my gauge cluster. I'm going to get a hold of Black Cat Custom and have a custom overlay in these places where it will say launch control active, launch control in, and I'll get a different colored LED. I just put a white LED in now as proof of concept, so that way I can have a visible indicator that launch control is active at the line. But yeah, here's just a quick demonstration that it's working. I have launch control set at 2800 right now, so emergency brake up, clutch in, and you see when it gets to my set point, which I think is 2800, the light lights up. And again, I could be at the track and modulate it. Let that down. And there it is. That's a quick working proof of concept of the quick release emergency brake modification and two-step launch controller and gauge cluster modification for it through the Megasquirt on my Turbo Pontiac Sunfire. Alright, thanks.